Hey, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co. And today we're going ahead into this is the wrong side. We're going ahead into an unboxing of Frosthaven. Yes, that is a table-shaking level of Frosthaven. I think it's like 47 pounds, if I recall correct. It's not 47, it's like 27. It's somewhere between 20 and 400 pounds. I'm certain of that. But this is Frosthaven from Cephalofair Games. This is, well, it's exciting. I'll be diving into this fully and heavily. You know what? Let's go ahead and jump into this. This is an unboxing on Rambling. We have our coffee shot as usual, our knife, all the usual things. I'm halfway through my coffee. I had an early start. Need to get things done. And this is Frosthaven, which I will be diving into, by the way. We'll talk about that. I'll have links down below. Probably, I should have links down below. I'm going to have links down below. You see, there's going to be a channel coming soon. Channel I started a while ago, but haven't actually really posted anything on it yet officially. But basically, for those who don't know, I'm currently streaming Gloomhaven. Oh dear lord, this is heavy. Give me a second. And I just turned it the wrong way because there's tape on the bottom of the box. So, back up on its side. I've been streaming Gloomhaven for the past, I want to say, 5 or 6 months or so over on Twitch with Professor Meg. And we've been going through Gloomhaven, but we're also going to go through Frosthaven before we finish Gloomhaven. I know, the horrors, right? But we will be starting a Frosthaven campaign over on YouTube. You can check that out. And I don't know exactly when we'll have content up, but I'm hoping that by the time we get to mid-December, I'm hoping we have some stuff up. But there will be a dedicated YouTube channel, which has all the past Twitch playthroughs, as well as its own recorded campaigns that we'll be slowly going through. Frosthaven. Now I can actually show it here. But anyways, this is, I'm sorry, there's just too much over here. My table might break for the record, just because, you know, the amount of weight on this table. This is too much. This really is too much, by the way. It's obnoxiously too much. But this is somewhere around 30 pounds worth of just heavy goodness over here. We have Welcome to Frosthaven. I know what I'm reading this weekend. You see, I already watched the highlight reel of some of the main changes between Frosthaven and Gloomhaven. Lots of small things, the ways you can walk through invisible characters, the ways summons works, the ways... there's other stuff. I guarantee you there's other stuff. But, welcome to Frosthaven. Stop! Read this before you do anything else! Oh, by the way, if I accidentally release any spoilers here, I'll try to tag it appropriately with timestamps and thumbnails and all those things, because spoilers would be bad. There's a significant number of components in this game box, and it's important to make sure they are organized before your first game. You think? I'll actually be getting, by the way, I'll be getting a folded space insert if you want to check that out at some point. I might do a full live-on building of the folded space insert, we'll see, but that is something I'd love to do. But I will be getting that in terms of managing this. There's also, I believe, Crowdox, Laser, whatever, Ox or something. I believe they have an active campaign, or soon to be ending, or already ended. There's a campaign. I'll link it down below for more Frosthaven goodies, as well as the fact that there's a Crafting Kingdoms, I want to say, also has they had a campaign last year for Frosthaven and Gloomhaven playmats. I hope to be showcasing some of those on the channel soon, so you can check those out as well. But I'll include a link to all those things. I'll also, there's going to be so many links, there's going to be like just a deluge of links. There's going to be a link to the new channel where you can watch a full Frosthaven playthrough starting in December or so. There's going to be a link to the Crafting Kingdoms goodies around Frosthaven and Gloomhaven, as well as that board game bag over on GameFound. There's going to be a link to the Crowd Laser Ox or something, I think it's Laser Ox campaign over there. And there's going to be a link as well to a channel that does as well. There's another channel out there that does very solid Gloomhaven content, and they've done a lot of overview content between Frosthaven and Gloomhaven. So up to 4 links so far. Let's see if we can get it to 17 by the time this video is done. I was saying something. Read this before you do anything else. There's a significant number of components in this game box. It's important to make sure they are organized before your first game. This guide will show you how to organize everything so you can start playing as quickly as possible. That's helpful. I like that. You'll find trays with lids. Helpful. We'll have all these things. I'm not going to read this, by the way. I'm not. In fact, I'm going to actually go ahead and open all this stuff, probably take it out incorrectly, forget where everything went, and then proceed to put it back incorrectly, because that's what we do with unboxings here. Because what are the chances of getting... what am I supposed to do? I can go slowly and procedurally and make this less interesting to watch, or I can just go for it chaotically, and then you get to the timestamp that says Alex tries to figure out how to put it back in the box. That's the entertaining timestamp. If you're bored already, I suggest skipping to that timestamp. Anyways, we have all this stuff over here, very clearly listed, very clearly. Whoa, look at this little breakdown, just all the stuff just spread out. That should be helpful to a degree. But anyways, this would be fun to actually dive into. If you prefer to learn how to play from a video from the rulebook, watch the Gaming Rules. So Gaming Rules has, Paul Grogan, Gaming Rules, apparently has Frosthaven stuff. We have a rulebook. This is a rulebook. Again, the nice part about the rulebook is they have sections. If I recall correctly, they should have sections that clearly delineate the things you need to know as a veteran Gloomhaven player. I believe. I think. Maybe. I'm saying that confidently, yet not seeing it. Maybe. Please give me something. There should be something. Dear Lord. I vaguely recall that there were boxes for Gloomhaven players. But am I thinking of a different game? Am I thinking of a different game that had boxes for, like, new players and stuff? Do I just have to read the entire rulebook? Probably. I probably have to read the entire rulebook. That is... There was a game recently. I don't know if it's this game or something else. There was a game recently that definitely had something as far as stuff for new players, so you can just jump straight into the differences and the changes. I don't remember if this is this game or not, but this is... Oh, Mandatory Quest. I remember to see over here. This is called Mandatory Triggers over here, and that reminded me that the channel that I was thinking of that's going to link, because I forgot its name, is called Mandatory Quest. I'll have a link to them down below. Check out his content. He's awesome. He also streams on Twitch, by the way. Check out his stuff. I actually never talked to him, but I should be at some point, so we'll figure that out. Anyways, there's almost certainly, this is usually the part where I'll have like 14 people commenting down below about the part where it shows you the differences between new and old. I don't remember. Either way, don't remember. I can't find it, so it is what it is. I could have sworn there was something here. Maybe it's just a section? I don't know. Either way, that's neither here nor there. We can figure that stuff out later. The point is that there's 79 pages. Now, that's appendixes. We could ignore the appendixes. Let's skip the appendixes and let's see how far this rulebook goes. This rulebook goes up to page 71 before we get to appendixes, and it starts, practically speaking, on over here, pages 3 to 71. So basically, not homework at all. Not homework at all. Anyways, let's talk about the characters. We have the Banner Spear. Low complexity, natural leader, protector with powerful attacks that require proper positioning. We have the Drifter, jack of all trades with great stamina to fill any role you need. There are lots of good things about that. That's going to be an Inox Drifter over there. We have the Bone Shaper, summoner of the undead who sacrifices the health to create and heal allies. I'm intrigued by that, but I haven't loved summons, so I don't know whether to dive into that or not. We'll figure it out, because summons, they are making changes to summons in the way they work, but will I love it? Will I not? I don't really know. We have the Deathwalker. Manipulator of dead spirits, uses death as fuel for their abilities. That one certainly seems intriguing for me. We have the Blink Blade over here. Powerful melee fighter who's able to quickly zip in and out of combat. The Blink Blade can adjust initiative and jump around the board, and also he's a... I'm going to forget the character. There's the Inox. There's the Blink Blade, and the Mind Thief and the Blink Blade are both Vermlings, that's the one. Okay, so and I love, my favorite character from Gloomhaven so far is still my Mind Thief, so diving into the Blink Blade seems like an easy choice for me. And then we have the Geminate over here, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Insect Swarm with 2 separate forms allow for switching between melee and ranged attacks. They have 2 separate hands of cards they jump between. Seems very intriguing. I don't know if that would be too much for me. I'd love to dive into it at some point. The nice part about Gloomhaven is you can dive, nice part about Frosthaven and Gloomhaven is you can dive into multiple characters in different ways. As your characters eventually retire and I'm going to say die. As your characters eventually die, you basically move on and pick another character to start off with again. So they have that aspect of the game to them. We have the scenario phase. I'm going to be reading through this. You know what? Honestly, my goal this weekend, and this video should be going up on a Wednesday if I'm doing this correctly. My goal is this weekend, about 5 days after filming this video, I hope to have this set up on this table over here and trying the first scenario. Not like playing the first scenario, but trying it. I want to get it set up. I want to pull out my character. I want to read the whole rulebook. I want to dive into this because... well, because I plan on diving into it properly, and so diving into it properly seems like the way to go. Now this, by the way, this is going to be our... oh, this is a puzzle. That's another thing Frosthaven did, if I recall correctly. Most of what I say here is going to be if I recall correctly. That's what I'm at with this. But we have this over here, which is... you got a bunch of letters over there, if you see those, little dot to dot. Now, my assumption is just from the way Frosthaven was talked about, how they're going to lean more heavily into puzzles. So I'm assuming this is a puzzle thing. Normally, I'd be trying to figure out on camera. But the first question is this enough information to figure it out now? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe we need more. I just don't know yet. But if it isn't enough to figure out now, well, either way, whether or not it's enough to figure out now, I'm not going to try because it would spoil it for you. So I'm just going to leave this alone and deal with it later. And there's a little piece of tape over here. I'm not going to open it. I'm going to be good and notice that. Then we're going to go ahead and grab the section book. Oh no, the scenario book. Oh no. Okay. We got these levels of just books over here. This is what we got. Let's go ahead and show you this over here. We have all our stuff over here. Whoa, look at this. Look at this, just the amount of scenarios we have, the amount of content, 57, 117, 175. We have tons of stuff over here. Those are just the sections, not the scenarios. Sections are different than scenarios. Over here we have Howling in the Snow is the first scenario. This is the one I hope to be diving into myself. Welcome to Frosthaven. With your head down you march, 1 foot then the other. You try to block out the pain, the throbbing in your toes, the numbness in your face. You just keep the rhythm. You think 1, 2. But the wind isn't so easily ignored. It claws at you, whipping up ice and snow like tiny hooks, making every breath difficult. Your skin is thick, you always pride yourself on that, but nothing is thick enough for this. You are walking through the frozen waste, a place far to the north where only the hard and the lost dare to travel. Of course, that's probably why they hired you. It's been 10 days of plowing through snowdrifts as high as your waist, and there's still no sign of the town. Your mercenaries, hired as part of a support team, the first group of the season sent to check on humankind's most distant outpost, Frosthaven. It's a place forgotten by most of the world, a tiny settlement carved out of the frozen wilderness that for half of the year is wholly cut off from the Empire, isolated by towering, unreachable drifts. But as of last week, just enough snow has melted off the Imperial Pass for our team to get through. They were hiring, and your coin purses were empty, so then, here you are. No one really knows what awaits you in Frosthaven. Your snow-muddled mind struggles to imagine what sort of people could survive through the winter in a place like this. But whoever's there, you hope at the very least, they've left a fire going. How sweet. So, how many scenarios we got over here? This might fall in the categories of spoilers. I'm not going to count it as a spoiler, though, so no disclaimers here. We have 135, 136, 137 scenarios in this book. I will not flip through it. I will not ruin it. I will leave this all alone. This is just private for you and me to talk about later. But 137 possible scenarios and side quests and all the fun things you can do. And by fun things, you won't actually do 137 because some will probably be locked. If it's anything like Gloomhaven, some will be locked off, some will be closed, or things or stuff. But we're only part of the way through this box. This is going to be a while. Then we have our inserts so far. My assumption is that these get tossed in the garbage as soon as you have your folded space or laser ox inserts. But to be safe, I will not toss them in the garbage until I have my folded space or laser ox inserts, because I'm responsible. We have our board, which seems fairly chunky. This is a chunky board. This is chunkier than what they had in Gloomhaven, if I recall correctly. I told you there's that word again, if I recall correctly. So let's go ahead and pop this up over here. This is our outpost of Frosthaven, the northern coast. So let's try not to break it in my first unboxing. This is our northern coast. You can only see part of it on the top cam because the top cam is not set up for this. But more importantly, we have the areas where you'll be placing stickers as you slowly unlock quests and change the map. And then you'll also, down here, you'll have the actual town of Frosthaven, where over here you'll be upgrading and leveling up. Basically, you're going to be building up Frosthaven as you play through the game, which is fascinating. That's a whole new element to the game. Like, Gloomhaven's like, hey, you know what? This game's not big enough. This game doesn't do enough. Why don't we do more stuff? And hence, we have 422 pounds of Frosthaven on my table. I'm going to put this off to the side again. We got more things. We got this over here. I got no clue what this is. It's... I'm sorry. This looks like... I'm going to show you this on top cam over here. We got this over here, which has these little punchboard cutouts over here. That means some of these things are going to be pulled out as we go. We got herbs and more herbs. Herb and herb. Fine connoisseurs of green veggies. Anyways, we have these over here. We got more of these things over there. Don't know what these are, so hopefully no spoilers. But if they're spoilers, they're not even the things that go in envelopes. We have a campaign sheet. We have our stickers that will slowly build up the town of Frosthaven. More stickers, and more stickers, and more stickers, and more stickers for our cards, and more stickers for our rule books, and more stickers. I'm going to turn all these face down, just because they were face down. We're going to keep them face down. Definitely not full-on spoiler, but don't look too closely, I guess. Sorry about that. We have our silica gel over here. Now this, by the way, this is an update from Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven didn't have enough silica gel in their game, so they added more silica gel in Frosthaven. They thought it'd be a nice, like, don't eat this though, like the rest of the components. Don't eat it, no mouthfeel. I am going to toss that. I think I can buy a replacement silica gel. The Game Crafter sells some really high quality silica gel that's much nicer component quality than your base game stuff. Anyways, if I have people searching for Game Crafter for silica gel, we'll have a problem. We have our icon key over here. This gives you, whoa, what do we have over here? We have our icon key over here, which is going to give us, you know, all of this stuff over here, all of the, I don't even know what this is, scenario checkbox, number, name, scenario chain color, introduction, unfettered, lurker, puzzle box, Algox, personal quest, job posting, all these things over here, connected scenario. We have just a whole line of different things that you have as far as stuff. I guess they're icon keys. We have more icon keys because we have more than one player. What do we have over here? We have icon key, we have icon key, we have icon key. That's 4 or 5. Why do we have... Okay, oh, whoa, 1 second. 1 second. I'm sorry. I just know something. On the back of the icon keys, we have little things over here. Because I was going to ask, why do we need 5 icon keys when you don't have 5 players ever playing the game? And the answer is because we have 5 things in the back of the icon keys. This is where we doubled up, basically. They doubled up the storage of those things in this box over here. My stack of things that are too precariously balanced are getting higher. We have our boards. These are going to be, this, I think this or this was our first scenario puzzle over here. The first encounter puzzle is going to be one of these two over here. But these are going to have, you know, your actual, just the various things that the locations, the tiles you're placing down as far as you moving room to room, the various damage counters, all the various traps and obstacles and blocking things, a whole lot of stuff over here. We got more of these. Oh my gosh, the amount of punchboard we have. This is just obnoxious. Whoa. Okay. This is gonna be a pain. This is just prepare for punchboard overload, because this, I'm not gonna punch this now because that would take forever. Holy hell. I mean it when it says forever. This is like a movie. I'm gonna like throw on Remember the Titans in the background and just watch Remember the Titans while punching this entire thing over here or something, because yeah, there's a lot going on here. But let's go through this slowly. We got board 1, board 2, and if this seems boring to you, well, that's what's going to be, because basically I'm not going to punch this now to not mess up the order. I will just show it all on top camera as you go. We have the various giant room tiles. This is a fairly large room tile over here. We have all the various enemy standees, and also don't forget to subscribe. Link number 5, we're up to link number 5. Link number 5 is going to be a link to Backer Kit's campaign, where you can get Frosthaven, Gloomhaven, and Jaws of the Lion miniatures if you want that level of just obnoxiousness on your shelf. I don't say obnoxiousness cruelly, I mean genuinely. You might want that level of obnoxious on your shelf. There's a lot of fun things to go there. But we have this over here. We have this over here. Frozen Corpse. We have this over here. Just lots. Let me look at this. This is the room tile. Just standees galore. Like, just remember the fact that if you do back Gloomhaven as far as, or Frosthaven as far as the miniatures, remember and understand that every single miniature, every single standee you see over here would be an actual miniature. And you'd have to store all that, which means if you have 15 Calyx cubbies devoted to your Frosthaven, Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion, Crimson Scales, and all that stuff, Crimson Scales being the fan-made expansion, link number 6. Link number 6 is going to be the Crimson Scales pre-order website, where you can either pre-order it or possibly not, depending on where you are. Crimson Scales is a fan-made expansion to Gloomhaven that in some way, I don't even know if it's compatible with Frosthaven. I have no idea. Honestly, not a clue in the slightest. I assume they'll make some sort of content for Frosthaven at some point. Link number 7. The people of Crimson Scales are going to be doing a campaign called Rove. I'll have a link to that Kickstarter. Basically, the people who made the largest fan-made expansion for Gloomhaven will have a campaign for Rove too. So that's link number 7. I told you 17 links is the goal. Let's see if we can get there. Back to these campaigns over here. These sheets, we got more and more. That looks like a boat. We're on a boat! They're on a boat. They're definitely on a boat. The boat was actually the second book, the second quest you had in Jaws of the Lion, if I recall correctly, being on like some sort of boat, but that was printed on a flippy book, so I am disappointed they didn't do a flippy book. Although, flippy books are hard when you have like 137 quests. Flippy books would be a lot of work. Anyways, over here, we have more, and more, and more, and more, and more. Just, I mean, more is the key word here. I'm just going to keep going until I think of more links that I can throw your way. And more. Holy hell, I don't know how, I just don't know how this is all going to store. I mean, it will, because it came in the box, but there has to go. The problem with things like this is when a punchboard is this condensed, getting it all out of the punchboard and still having it manageable is hard, because right now it's all organized. Think of it practically like this. When you have aluminum foil, okay, aluminum foil is very, very small and condensed. And then when you unravel it from its natural flat state, it takes up more space. That's true with punchboard. Punchboard, granted, there's extra punchboard here, so all this extra stuff, this goes away. But you still have to figure out how to make this all organized nicely. Holy hell, we're in so much trouble. I don't know if I should even try this. I think my folded space insert is coming soon. This is gonna be a process. This is gonna be a process. Anyways, we got more stuff, but let's go ahead and take all of this and put it somewhere where this is basically 22 of the 37 pounds of Frosthaven. I'm gonna put that to the side. I'm gonna show you a top shot of the inside of the box. Now that we have all the punchboard out of the way. So all the punchboard out of the way, we have this over here. And these are the character classes you'll have in Frosthaven, and a whole bunch of cards. Just lots and lots of cards. Now, we do have our starting 6 characters. Somewhere. Okay, here's the, oh, there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got the 6 characters on the left side. So if we go back over here, you can see that's going to be the Inox Drifter, I think. That's going to be the 2-form thingy, the Geminate. One of these is the Blink Blade, but these 6 over here on the left, or on my left at least, are going to be the starting classes. And, well, the rest of them, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I get lost count. I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Looks like there's 11 other classes to slowly unlock. You see, the way Gloomhaven works, I can't say Frosthaven. Ooh, look at this little bag of baggies. The way Gloomhaven works is that you have classes you start with. So you have 6 starting classes, and every time you retire a character, you unlock a new class. Now, Frosthaven is different. I don't know exactly how it's different. I know Mega's told me this on it. Basically, if I recall correctly, you get various progression points. You get progression points as far as ways you progress and use those to unlock characters, so you can unlock characters at a different pacing than the way you do in Gloomhaven. I may have gotten that right. But it's different. It's different. Probably it's different. Might be different. In any case, we got cards. Okay, this is where the tricky part begins, because you know what we're going to do? We have the starting classes over here. You know what? Okay, here's what we're going to do. I do want to go through the starting classes briefly over here, but I'll save that for the very last thing we do before we unbox this. So if you want, skip to the timestamp that says Alex briefly covers the starting classes. Covers is a loose term. I'm just going to open them up and look at a card or two for each one. But let's look at the rest first, and we'll come back to the starting classes after. So what do we got over here? We got all these things. Okay, we got a giant brick of cards. A brick of cards. This is the part where I don't know the best way to do this, because there could be spoilers in so many different aspects of this. And by the way, for the record, oh, more silica gel. I'll upgrade that later. But in general, I'm debating what to say. I'm not, okay, you know, I'm going to say it, because here's the thing. This is the thing that I debated what to say or not. I'm not going to look under the insert. I debated even saying that, because it might spoil the surprise for some of you. But this does avoid the 700 people who decide to comment down below, Alex didn't even look under the insert. Maybe there's something under the insert, maybe not. I'm not going to look, and I won't find out until someone in some way, you know, will figure it out. There might be. I don't know. I just genuinely don't know. But we do have these two bricks of cards to go through. I'm not going to go through everything over here. It's a weird balance of, first of all, these are the enemy cards. Where's my knife? Where's my knife? These are the enemy cards over here. And so to that end, if we have the enemy cards here, I'm not, again, I don't want to go through everything for two reasons. The first is that it's obnoxious and it would take 14 hours to go through the hundreds and hundreds of cards we have here. The second point is there might be spoilers in some of the content, so I don't want to do that. What I will say is over here we have, looks like this entire stack is enemy AI cards. The way those work, I'll just show them over here, is you have, every enemy AI has their own deck of cards they're going to utilize. So we have the name, we have the Chaos Demon on the back. So hopefully that's not a spoiler that we have a Chaos Demon. Let's find all the Chaos Demon's cards. We have the Flame Demon, the Chaos Demon. So here we go. Here's the Chaos Demon's deck of cards. We're going to shuffle these up, shuffle them up, shuffle them up. And yes, these should be shuffleable. And then you flip over a card and you see their reaction. Wow, these guys are going first. Holy hell, is that their initiative? The initiative is 1? Why do they have an initiative of 1? Who the hell gives people an initiative of 1? I want to go, but I'll deal with this. This initiative of 1. That means the Heat Blast over here, let's just show it to you. So Heat Blast, they're going to use their movement stat +1. They're going to do an attack stat -1. I don't actually know, is that push 2? I think that's push 2. And then it's going to go ahead and consume flame to cause a wound, I think. I'm reading this terminology correctly. Keep in mind, I play most of my Gloomhaven digitally, by the way. Link number 8, a link to Gloomhaven Digital. Why? Because we're trying to get to 17 links. Link number 9 obviously includes my Twitch channel. That link's always there, but we're still going to count it towards our links. So link number 9 includes the Twitch channel where we're playing through Gloomhaven. It's going to be hard to keep up with these links. Can we get to 17 by the time this video is done? I think it's going to be hard, but we can try. Anyways, link number 10 and 11, just for the sake of it, are going to be a link to Devon Talks Tabletop and Professor Meg, two people who I do a lot of stuff with. And so, yeah, they'll have those links as well. That's link 10 and 11. 12 is where we're going to struggle. Link 12 is where we're going to struggle. What could be relevant to this? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyways, link number 12 is the fact that I did a Gloomhaven versus Oathsworn video comparing Gloomhaven versus Oathsworn. Why Gloomhaven versus Oathsworn, you say? Because, yeah, link number 12 is Gloomhaven versus Oathsworn. Back to these cards over here. So, Heat Blast over here, we have the cards showing you what they do, and so you don't know exactly how the enemies are going to react at any point. You generally can get a sense of what types of things enemies will do. So, for instance, I'm used to the fact I hate them. I despise them. When I'm facing off against cultists, I think their name's cultists, I'm not sure. I'm not good at the whole name thing. But when I'm facing off against cultists, I know at any given point, they might be spawning skeletons, which I hate and despise. So, like, you do get to learn some of the feeling of characters and their cards. Is this even going to fit in here? Is this going to fit? I don't even know. It does fit, but barely. These will not fit sleeved. I have to sleeve this game. I have to sleeve this game. I don't have to. I don't. We'll figure it out. Link number 13. We're doing well here. Link number 13 is going to be Sleeve Kings. Sleeve Kings, which is my favorite go-to sleeve company. They have a upcoming GameFound campaign where they're. I've been waiting for their campaigns for a while. They have a bunch. They do these campaigns for sleeves, and I buy them there because they're like half the price, or not half, but they're cheaper than buying them regularly. And I have like a closet full of Sleeve Kings, but I have run out of certain sizes, and they are my favorite company. I get no money, no sponsorship, nothing from them whatsoever. But they're my favorite company because they have a good combination of quality. They're 60 microns thick as opposed to the penny sleeves are 40 microns thick. But that means they're thicker and higher quality, but they're not all the way up to like 110 microns thick, which is obnoxious as far as fitting in the box. So they have a slightly premium feel at a penny sleeve cost. I love them. So that's going to be link number 13. So we only need 4 links at this point, it might be achievable. I thought the 17 link was a stupid comment I made at the beginning, and it probably was a stupid comment I made at the beginning, but it might actually be achievable. We only need 4 links more now at this point. Anyways, we got this over here. Okay, let's go ahead. Oh, well, link number 15, link number 14, obviously, is going to be the Oathsworn campaign, which, granted, did end, but you could late back it. And so it's a very relevant link to throw in here, because if we're talking about Gloomhaven versus Frosthaven versus Oathsworn, you know, let's go ahead and have that link as link number 14. Down to 3 links left. This is going to be the craziest thing I've ever done. That's not true. The craziest thing I ever did was dress up like a duck while talking about Jesse's channel. Link number 15. Link number 15 is me dressing up like a duck while talking about Jesse's channel. I do have regrets about that video. I don't think it holds up very well, but we're trying to get to 17 links, so that's where we are right now. Anyways, we have cards over here. We have all these cards of... By the way, if you came here expecting like a hardcore, serious Frosthaven in-depth look, I apologize. I like the game. Well, that's not true. I haven't played the game. I like Gloomhaven. I'm a big fan of it, but I'm a much bigger fan of just being a little crazy and all over the place at the same time. These videos are called Unboxing and Ramblings for a reason, and link number 16... Or are we up to 15? I lost track. Link number 15... Which link are we up to? Is going to be my Patreon down below, which is always there, but we're still going to count it. Anyways, we have... Wait, what? There's a mark on this card. This spyglass card has like a little mark on it. Let me show you this. Let me show you this spyglass. It's like the top card over here. There's like a little indentation along this card over here. I did not cut it with my knife there. You guys are all witnesses. I've been recording the whole time. I did not cut that card. It has a little scratch mark along the card as if I cut this spyglass card with my knife when I didn't. Also, it's card number 1001. Yes, this is not a spoiler yet. This goes into the fact that this is a stack full of items. I will not... That looked cool, but I'm not going to show it to you. This is a stack full of items over here, and the stack full of items has all these things you can get. Now, if it's anything like Gloomhaven, you're going to have some unlocked and available at the beginning, and some unlocked as you go through it. And so to that end, we're going to have a bunch of these items available at the beginning. I'm going to just grab the first like 5 or 6 items, and hopefully these are all spoiler free. They should be. It goes up to like item 11 over here, so you should be spoiler free. I'm not going to go through all of them. We have our spyglass. Now they have these little symbols at the side, which illustrates, I guess, where you can get it or what materials you use. Oh, what materials you use maybe? You see, Frosthaven has a different system than Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven has using money to buy things. Frosthaven has using materials, it looks like. And so some of these are acquired through materials or starting items or something, I don't know. We have our spyglass. During your attack ability, gain advantage on one attack, and then tap it, and you'll get it back when you long rest. We have our crude helmet. When you're attacked, treat any 2 times attack modifier that enemy draws as a +1 instead. So that really helps you against, you know, those crazy attacks that would otherwise destroy you. One of the things I really like about Frosthaven and Gloomhaven, that's not true, I haven't played Frosthaven. One of the things I really like about Gloomhaven that I assume I will like about Frosthaven is the fact that these small little boons you get on item cards, like you're like, oh my gosh, you get this small little 1 edge case benefit or whatever, they're huge. They really matter when it comes down to it. When you're actually in the heat of combat and you're ignoring the 2 times modifier against you, that's a big deal. I'm not going to open this card because this looks like it's... I think this is all dividers. This is all dividers. We're not going to open that. We're going to leave that there to go through later. We have more stuff. We have our giant pack of enemy standee things. I'm not going to open these. These are just where you put your little standees. We have our decks full of cards over here, which they have dividers. They have dividers. Interesting. So I'm not going to... Well, I'm going to open these for the sake of opening them, but I'm not going to actually go through them. Because, again, the balance here is trying to not have spoilers as much as possible. And so we have this deck of cards over here, which I'm not going to read through, but these are outpost events. They're going to have different events and options. Should I read one? I'm not going to read one. I want to read one. I want to read one. I'm not going to. I'm not going to read one. I'm going to read one to myself, and I'll just make reactions, okay? No. 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 Okay, we're gonna do option B. No! I'm joking. I'm overreacting. I mean, it is pretty fun, but it's not that level. Anyways, let's go to the next system of cards. Okay, I need to put these back in the right ways. They have numbers, and they have these little helpful numbers over here, which are great for being able to put them back and be able to flip through them and pull the right events at any times. So we have our outpost events, and we have more outpost events, although these have a different color, so I don't know what's up with that. Oh, that's right. Doesn't Frosthaven have different seasons? I think that's how it works. I think it's different seasons. And so that's why I have cards that both say outpost but come in 2 different colors. The peripheral knowledge I have of Frosthaven is actually not bad because, I mean, when Frosthaven was on Kickstarter, I owned Gloomhaven. had played Gloomhaven 3 times and was like, that's a good game that I will never finish. I don't need to get myself Frosthaven. Then I started playing through Frosthaven on Twitch and Gloomhaven on Twitch. Jeez, I will never get these right. Then I started playing through Gloomhaven on Twitch, and now I'm like, I mean, we're not finished yet. We have a road events. We have 2 different decks of road events too. Yes, we do. We have 2 different deck seasons. We have seasons. I've never been so intrigued by seasons since playing Viticulture. Viticulture is a game, by the way, from Stone Matter Games. That's going to be link number 16, in case you're wondering. Link number 16 is going to be my review of Viticulture, which is a fantastic game that also incorporates seasons into their engine. We're just trying to get to 17 links at this point, so it's loosely related, but I still managed to relate it. Link number 17 is going to be the big one, though. We'll talk about that one later. Okay. Oh, link number 17, obviously. Link number 17 is going to be my video on why Gloomhaven is the #1 game of all time and will never, ever, ever be dethroned. Until Frosthaven, or Oathsworn, or Brass Birmingham. Obviously, it's going to be dethroned. It's just a question of when. Now the problem is, we still have like 15 minutes left of the video, and I can't add more links, because we're up to 17 links. So at this point, anything I think of, you're on your own. Anyways, putting these cards back over here, we have more cards. We have this deck of cards that does not... I don't even know what this deck of cards is. Oh, these might be materials and things. This is a materials deck. Because I'm going to say, a lot of what I'm doing, I'm recognizing from the formatting or backs of Gloomhaven. But this is not Gloomhaven, as we've talked about many times, every time I say Gloomhaven and correct myself to Frosthaven. This, I believe, is your deck of materials. I'm going to look at it surreptitiously. Surreptitiously, I think that's how you pronounce it. Ooh, yes, this is definitely your... I'm going to show this to you because it's not spoilers, I think. I'm pretty sure it's not spoilers. But we have a deck over here of materials where you can draw things like coins from the materials deck, but you can also draw different items from the materials deck. Okay, so there's different items you can see over here. So whenever you loot or whatnot, I believe you draw from this deck. Don't trust me on the rules yet. Haven't read the rulebook. Again, peripheral knowledge is all I'm going with here. But it's just a different system entirely from what you saw in Gloomhaven, because you don't have pure money being loaded. Speaking of different systems, when you have summons on the board, summons now drop loot. You don't have to track what's a summon, what's not a summon. One of the many small little rules changes, quality of life improvements. You can now go ahead and mine that slime horde or whatever it is. So, oh, these I'm not going to show you. I was about to show you these. These are your goal cards, your personal quest cards. I can't remember the name of them. There's 2 kinds of goals. There's your retirement goals, your overarching goals for the system, and then there's your personal goals for each battle. I think they're called battle goals. I think that's what they're called. But you draw 2 of these, and you look at them, and you're like, oh, sorry. I'm sorry. The first goal card clearly is what I'm always going to choose. It's called Accountant. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but obviously I'm going to have an Accountant goal card. And I believe, if I recall correctly, Frosthaven actually makes a change from Gloomhaven. They let you have 3 goal cards instead of 2 goal cards to avoid the stupid situations when it's like, open a door on a quest where there's no doors. Or kill an elite enemy on a quest where there's no elite enemy. They also solved the fact that you don't know if the quest has doors or elite enemies by... Nope, never mind, they didn't solve for that. They didn't solve for that one bit. Anyways, we're going to go back to the next thing over here. We're going to draw another card. We have our next card over here, which I don't recognize the back of this either, which means it's going to be another thing that's new to me. So I'm going to say nothing. If I don't recognize something, by the way, I'm just going to like try to... I guess if it's a spoiler, they should tell me it's a spoiler, so I'm going to make it their fault. Here's the back of the card in case you want to see. This is the back of a very cool looking card. And for me, the front of it is... I don't know what this is, but I like it. This almost looks like events. Like there's like events almost. I'm going to read the front one. This is the front one that you would see. They didn't warn you. This just says armor testing, okay? Whenever any character suffers something, a wound maybe, from an attack that is not reduced by shields, push 2 is added to the attack. So there's something like, it's like almost an event that stays in play. I don't know if it's a personal thing, but it says whenever any character. So it seems like more of a scenario-based event. We're slowly going through these decks, figuring out as we go. We have our next deck of cards. This looks like a more standard set of modifier cards over here. Now, every character is going to have their own modifier deck in their own little packet. We'll get to that as well. I'm just slowly throwing these little extra pieces of plastic on the floor. This is going to be an overarching modifier adjustment deck, I assume. Maybe. I don't really know. There's something here. Either way, these are modifiers. Plus 30. I don't know what's going on with plus 30, but I want the plus 30. That seems pretty cool. Or is that a plus 30 initiative? I don't know, that can't be. That wouldn't make sense. And here we have more modifier cards. These are monster modifier decks, maybe? Was that plus 30 on monsters? I hope not. That would be not fun. Okay, we got more of these over here. These are our monster modifier decks, as evidenced by the little M in the bottom corner. They don't have a plus 30, do they? Because if they have a plus 30, I quit right now. That's not true. I just burn the card up and keep playing. It's all cool. Anyways, we have our 2 times modifier. We have our mists modifiers. Nothing really overly new or impressive there. If you are coming to this as somebody who has not played Gloomhaven, by the way, I apologize. This entire unboxing has been catered to people who know Gloomhaven and people who don't care at all about any form of structure or anything in their videos. But if you don't know Gloomhaven, Gloomhaven is a fantastic game, and I can't link to any content about it because we used up all our links already. Anyways, we have more of these modifier cards over here. So we have this, as far as this goes, and then we are down to, that's it. Those are all our small cards, which means it's time. It's time for the part where you have all timestamp jumped to. For anyone who jumped to this timestamp, where the part where Alex goes over the 6 characters, you missed a whole lot of fun stuff, including a weird tangent of like 7 links that we managed to include. I can't believe I'm actually up to 17 links. Anyways, do we go through all the characters? Not all the characters, not all, chill, not all the characters. I mean all the starting characters, okay? Just a brief overview of the characters, of what I remember of them. And what I remember of them is very loose. Let's go ahead through this. We got our cards, and our little token, and our drifter character, and we have our Inox drifter over here, okay? I'm going to show you the character over here. Here we go. That's your Inox drifter. Okay, they're going to come in the little envelope with their own little... This is another thing that Frosthaven did differently, by the way. See this chart over here? I'm not going to heavily go into it, but I will pick one to read. They tried to make the perks much more differentiatable. Differentiatable. These are great words. I love these words. Anyways, differentiatable. Instead of having things like, they always were, whenever you had a class in Gloomhaven, they always had different perks, but they felt the same basic concepts. They felt like, okay, remove 2 -1 modifiers, add a +2 negative modifier, add a push plus draw card modifier. Like, they're all basically the same things. They're all fairly consistent across the board. But the perks here are very different. Okay, we're going to start reading just a few of the unique perks from each character. We have, whenever you long rest, you may move one of your character tokens backwards 1 slot. That sounds cool. That's one of the character tokens on the card. That's very unique. At the end of each scenario, you may discard up to 2 loot cards, except random item, to draw that many new loot cards. Again, that's intriguing. Okay, you can cycle some loot cards, finding what you want. Will be 2 perks per person, so you can discover the rest on your own. Although if you want to discover the rest on your own, you probably shouldn't have been watching this video. Inox Drifter. I'm not going to read these all. I'm not. I'm going to leave someone else to do that. Okay. Anyways. We have Drifter. You have many persistent bonuses which use slots, which will greatly enhance your capabilities. Whenever a bonus is triggered, each individual attack, advance your character token 1 slot. So just have lots of those little sliding bonuses on cards, so the Drifter will slowly power themselves up. You also have abilities which will allow you to add effects by moving a character token on any one of your persistence bonuses forward or backwards, it looks like. Intriguing, okay. Okay, and we have our starting health of 10 all the way up to a chunky 26 at level 9. So we still have the level 9 characters over there, the level 9 levels. I'm not going to read any cards that are higher level for any of these character things I do. But we'll just go through a few of their basic starting cards. Now I have to figure out what shows starting card because I'm not seeing the usual. There we go. They have a different formatting. So basically, over here is where it shows where the starting card is 1, a 2, a 3. Slightly different formatting from Gloomhaven, so it took me a second to figure out what character goes where. On your next 6 melee attacks, add +2. That's pretty fun. Okay, so there's a top crushing weight. On your next 6 melee attacks, add +2. And then on the bottom half, it's... I don't know all this new symbology. Wait, we got this over here. Nope, it's not on our guide. Okay, our icon guide has failed us the first time we tried using it. Never mind. Okay, we have move the character token on one of your persistent abilities backwards 1 slot. That could be useful. We have precision aim. All your ranged attacks have +1 push. Is that push? I think that's push. I don't know. It might be push or it might be ranged. I can't remember. On your next 6 range attacks, add +1 attack. That's pretty solid. Bottom is a move 2. Move the character token on one of your persistent abilities backwards 1 slot. So he likes to mess around with his character abilities in different ways while slowly powering himself up. That sounds fun. I like that, actually. That goes heavily into tableau building. See, Inox classes in Gloomhaven, I've played with a whole bunch and played as one. I've played as a Hatchet, and I've played with a Berserker and the Brute. And I like them, but they often seem a bit too direct, and I like a little more subtlety in what's going on. But I do like building up my character, and I like my tableau in most games. And this does have that tableau element, which makes it seem pretty fun. So that is your Inox Drifter 2 perks and 2 card overview. Okay, we're going to call it, I should do a full video called 2 perks and 2 cards, where for each of the Frosthaven classes, I go over 2 perks and 2 cards. Also, this won't go back into the box, so there's that. Anyways... There we go, push that like that, and then push it, there we go, I got it back in. Okay, then, back to the next class. This might be the Blink Blade. I mean, is this the Blink Blade? It feels like it should be the Blink Blade's icon, but it might not be. Let's find out. It is the Blink Blade. Blink Blade. Okay, we got our Blink Blade here, okay. Blink Blade character, up there, there we go. And then, we have our 2 perks, oh my gosh, whoa, this board, I just saw this board. Whoa. At the start of each round, before card selection, even when long resting, you declare whether you're fast or slow. So if you remove or add time tokens, so you're basically using time as a currency. Okay, so that's what you're doing, and effects will have your cards, even your cards have all different initiatives based on fast or slow, so it's really fascinating system. I'm very intrigued by it. The Quadrille Blink Blade. Did I say earlier that he was a Vermling? I think I said earlier that he's a vermling. The bad news is the way YouTube comments work is I've probably gotten about 72 comments correcting me that it's a quadrille before I got this far, so I appreciate the help. Thank you. Perks. Whenever you short rest, you may spend one unspent long rest item for no effect to checkmark a different spent item. I don't know what that symbol means. I'm not perfect at Gloomhaven. I do most of it on the computer. It handles all the things for me. It's fine. I'm good. I'll be reading the whole rulebook. I'll be getting back into it. The whole rulebook, because there's no sections on, veteran or whatever. So I'll be going into it properly. Or there is a section, and I'll have, again, 72 comments down below correcting me about those aspects. Whenever you would gain prevent... Ooh, I like that. I like that. Okay, this is a perk for the Quadrille Blink Blade that whenever you would stop moving... I can't remember the term, I'm sorry. Whenever you get the condition that prevents you from moving, you ignore it. That's cool, because that is one of the most frustrating conditions. I don't mind if you kill me, I don't mind if you wound me, if you poison me, if you slash my health down to nothing, but if you make me feel like I can't do anything on my turn, I mind a bit more. So we have the Quadrille Blink Blade, we've read 2 perks, and now we have 2 cards. Again, this is our official review of every single character. Blurry Jab. Blurry Jab, I like it. The concept of speed, it's fun. Blurry Jab, okay, 3 damage attack, and then depending on whether you're fast, oh my gosh, it's gonna be such a mind. That's it, I'm done. I'm playing, okay, I have to go through the other 4 characters first, but I'm pretty sure I'm playing as the Quadrille Blink Blade, because this is just the concept of these cards being so binary. I love it. I love it. Okay, so either we have, if you're going fast, it's also +1 attack, and I think that's a wound or bleed or whatever it is, and then an experience, or it's, if you're going slow, it's -1 attack, and what is that? What's that? Was that a question mark? A question mark of a condition? I don't know what that means. Okay, or is that muddled? Maybe that's muddled. That might be muddled. Anyways, and it's either 20 or 50, and it's either +2 speed to its 3, so it's 5 speed or 2 speed, but one adjacent enemy suffers stun. The concept here, the concept of this character is so astoundingly cool. I love it. I love it. Okay, 2 cards. I said 2 cards. We have Kinetic Transfer. It's going to be a 2 movement top action, which I like already. I like having that flexibility on a top action movement. And if you're going fast, it's going to be with 3 push, like it looks like, plus a 2 attack with, so it's 2 movement, and then 2 attack with a 3 push and fire. Or if you're going slow, that's push, and that's, I don't know what these are. I should know what these are. And that's going to be generating different elements. So again, I love the concept here. We have 4 movement, and then if you're going slow, it's -1 movement. If you're going fast, all adjacent allies and enemies suffer 1 damage. Again, very potentially cool. Just the way you have these cards. I'll have to learn all the symbols, but we'll get there. We will get there. But all this stuff over here, I like the concept of the Quadrille Blink Blade immensely. Just from looking at these cards, they're very, very cool. This is going to be fun. We're going to be going through all this stuff soon enough. Anyways, okay, we got that, we got that, we got that. Putting all these cards back in the box. All these things. We're on to 4 more characters. We got so much time left. How long is this video? This is 40 minutes long already. Holy, I'm sorry. Okay. See, for instance, Quacklope did an unboxing that was like 15 minutes long. I can't link to it. I'm sorry. I've used up all my links, but you can search for it. But Quacklope did a video unboxing of Frosthaven as well. That is worth checking out. That I just assumed my unboxing would be, short, because I was like, you can't show anything anyway. What are you going to do? Show cards? Open up boxes you're not supposed to open? What are you going to do? And the answer is you'll do 2 cards and 2 perks while also talking about like 17. What is happening here? Okay, this is the Banner Spear. And the Banner Spear has an entire punch board of different banners. I guess that makes sense. It's the Banner Spear, but the Quadrille Blink Blade didn't have a punch board full of Blink Blades, so it's not like I'm supposed to assume that. The Banner Spear. Okay, we're going to show you the card over here, and then we'll look at it and make cool sounds. Okay, here we go. Now, looking at it making cool sounds. The Banner Spear. You specialize in area attacks which require an ally to occupy each depicted blue hex. Oh, that's always a tough one. You see, I've primarily been playing Gloomhaven with 2 characters, myself and 1 other. The downside of that is that does mean that characters that benefit from having more allies in play are less fun. So like the Tinkerer, for instance, I haven't even tried because people keep saying it's a fun class with more classes in play. So there is that downside. The Banner Spear might have that problem just based on having benefits from multiple allies in play. Okay, these are effects depictions, can be rotated or mirrored. So basically they benefit from having allies in play, and they benefit from that. Banner summons do not have base mover stacks, but they provide powerful bonuses to you and allies when nearby. They can still move and granted move abilities. 2 perks. At the end of each of your long rests, grant 1 ally within 3 range 2 movement. I think that's range. There's push and there's range. Oh, there is. Okay, great. That symbol is range. I think I've been confusing push and range. So the entire time, again, thank you to the 72 commenters, the entire time I've been looking at the little box with the thingy, I'm pretty sure it's range now. Okay, whenever you open a door with a move ability, add 3 movement. Ooh, I do like that. I do like the ability to open doors and have extra movement. I am a big fan of opening doors when I shouldn't, and usually just going invisible, although apparently that's something you can't rely on quite as much the same way you used to prevent your allies from all dying. apparently. We have at all costs, okay, 3 healing to all allies, suffer 1 damage for each ally whose hit point value increased. So apparently you're adding 3 healing to all allies, but taking a bit of damage to yourself. That's worth it, I guess. That's worth it. Summon reinforcement. That's going to be a 1 health, 2 movement reinforcement. You control the movement of the summon. So these are just to help you. So maybe actually that could be fun. I want to play all these classes. I'm going to have to read here's what's happening, okay? I'm going to PAX shortly, and I will be going through I'm going to take these 6 starting characters with me and read every single one of their starting cards. Not the cards they unlock, because I want to preserve the magic. I want to have the magic of when you level up and you get a new card choice, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I want that magic, even at the cost of the strategic choice of the character. But past that, I want to read every single starting card of every single one of these classes, and then pick the Quattro Blink Blade. Card number 2. Card number 2 is going to be, okay, we got over here, we got Unbreakable Wall. Okay, that's going to be a 3 damage attack from, you have an ally here, yourself over there. So with 1 push, 3 damage to all 3 of those. All your ranged attacks have +1 range. Oh, that'd be cool. And 1 shield. Oh, that's fun. That's going to be 2 experience, stays in play until discarded. And +1 shield is always in play? Is the +1 shield always in play? Okay, so apparently we're going to be playing through Frosthaven twice, just so we can play as all the characters all the time. I like the concept of this card. If the card doesn't require multiple allies in play, meaning if you're generating your own allies, and you're able to properly benefit from that, and you're able to stat up, all your things so you can extra, I like it. Okay, I do like it. See, I think the Drifter's off the table because I'm pretty sure Meg is taking the Drifter, so that removes 1 option. So I'm only down to 5 choices right now. And granted, eventually these people will retire, I'm sorry, and I'll be able to go ahead and try the next character. So there is that aspect of, I'm not choosing 1 character, I'm choosing 5 or 6 characters, but there's still 11 characters. Choosing 5 or 6 is just not enough. Let's go ahead and choose the Gemini over here. Geminate, not Gemini. Gemini's a different thing. The Geminate over here. This is going to be the giant thing they have at every convention. They have the Geminate at every convention. If you've been going to conventions, that's the one they have over there. And so we have the Geminate, which splits into 2 classes. You shift between 2 forms, melee and range. You only play cards from your current form. Okay, great. I'm not going to read all this stuff, but we have our 2 perks and 2 cards. Once each scenario, when you would give yourself a negative condition, prevent the condition. It's useful. Okay. We also have our classic ignore scenario effects, but that's not new, so we're not going to count that as one of our 2 perks. Whenever you short rest, you may remove 1 negative condition from an ally within range. 3. That's cool. Short resting happens a lot. Removing negative conditions from people so they don't have to waste their healing card and that stupid thing imagery. Those are all fun. Okay, we have Icebound Quills. 5 damage. I don't know what that symbol is at all. I probably should know that, right? But I don't know it. And then we have consume frost, +1 damage, and +1 of the symbol that I don't know, and 1 experience. And then we have this stays in play, and it's +1 strength. I don't know what that symbol is, and +1 shield. Again, I should probably know these things, but I don't. Okay, we have changed. Oh wait, this is 2 decks, right? 2 different decks. How do we distinguish between the 2 decks? How do we do this here? Oh. Okay, we're gonna read a card from each deck. So we have Icebound Quills on this deck, and we have Selfless Offering over here. 3 healing, 1 ally, range 3, consume fire to something. That's strengthen? Oh, that one's strengthen. I don't know. I should know. See, I just read the cards in Gloomhaven Digital. It's mostly fine. It does the job. And we have over here, this I guess is that switch forms? So 3 movement and switch forms. I guess you have to have switch forms cards between these decks. I'm guessing that symbol means switch forms on the Geminate over here. So yeah, it looks cool. Honestly, I'd have to read more cards. Currently, not as intrigued by the Geminate. And very intriguing, don't get me wrong. Very cool concept. But something about it doesn't pull me in the way the Banner Spear, the switching of the cards on the Quattro Blink Blade, and the way the Banner Spear just has those allies and buffing itself up. I really like that idea. The idea of like an unbreakable wall to just kind of protect your weaker allies. Although that's never going to work for me because Meg doesn't like to choose weaker allies, so never mind that. Anyways, we're going to have this over here as far as that's that. With 2 left so far. 2 things left to go. So, we got 2 packs left to go, and then we're almost done. Which one's which? I think this is the one that summons the undead, which is not the one I want to do last. I want to save for last the Bone Shaper. Yeah, the Bone Shaper is the one that I want to use the other one, because there's the other class that intrigued me. Although the Banner Spear has gone higher up in my interest level just from this conversation. Ooh, look at this. We got multiple boards full of different summons and all those things. That's fun. And then we have we gotta show you the board for this character over here, the Bone Shaper. Okay, that's your Bone Shaper there. Bone Shaper. You can summon shambling skeletons which are disposable. Yes, they are. Whenever a shambling skeleton dies, move from the map and place its card in your discard pile. Additionally, you may choose to move their cards from your active area to discard pile at any time, moving the corresponding summons from the map. In either case, you may later recover the cards and use them again. That's fun, reusing your summons cards. That's a big deal. Bone Shaper just went up a notch. Okay, we have our Aether Bone Shaper. Immediately before each of your rests, you may kill one of your summons to perform... I don't know what that is. To perform something on self. I don't... Blessing. Oh, Blessed. Oh, I'm pretty sure that's Blessing. So you can perform Blessing on yourself. That's cool. At the start of each scenario, you may play a level 1 card from your hand to perform a summon action of the card. Oh, that is very useful. That's very useful. That gives you immediate summons on the map. Hopefully they have a movement faster than 1, because that would be obnoxious. The downside of summons is the fact that they take way too long to actually get into play sometimes, and you do need to be mindful of their speed. I think Frosthaven addressed that to some extent. No, that was a change from... That was a change they made in Jaws of the Lion, where if there's no active enemies, they can move towards you. I think that was a change from Jaws of the Lion that then carried over to the digital game. I don't believe it was an original Gloomhaven. We have Life and Death. Summon Shambling Skeleton, 3 health, 2 movement, 2 attack. Simple enough. We have on the next 3 sources of damage to you, negate the damage. That's always fun. It's always fun to negate damage over there and then get an experience. That's always great. And we're going to do Transfer of Essence. No, that's too much to read. We're going to do Decaying Will. Decaying Will is 1 damage, 5 movement, and that. Add 1 if the 5 range, not movement, sorry, 5 range. Add 1 if the target is adjacent to at least one of your summons. That's fun, and then generate some life over there. All of your summons attacks are unaffected. Okay, cool. That's useful. Summon by that's the Strengthen. I think that's Strengthen. That's the one where you draw 2 cards, pick 1. I think probably maybe. But anyways, we have Dark Tidings. Grant 3 of your summons plus 0 an attack with whatever, and then consume that. Okay, cool. Yeah, I really should know more of these things over here. That's poison. I think it's poison. Anyways. But yeah, so this looks cool. Not overly intrigued by it, but definitely intrigued by it. The problem is, my problem with summons in general, and again, granted that this looks like it's cooler and different, but I just haven't had as much success with summons as I would like. Like, when I think of all the cool moments I've had in Gloomhaven, none of them involve summons. And so to that end, I'm less intrigued by the character who has a lot of summons. It could be that he's much different and better and all those things, but until I see it, it just goes into the category of, that's cool, but currently it's between the Banner Spear and the Quattro Blink Blade. And I think the Quattro Blink Blade is still winning. Although this ability to, like, reseal these boxes, that's the thing that's definitely losing. Okay, let's put this back in like this. There we go. We got it in. We got 1 character left. Then you can go back to your daily routine of whatever else you were doing before we got to the 2 cards and 2 perks review of Frosthaven. We have the Deathwalker. Now, Deathwalker does intrigue me. The Deathwalker, we got their little board of portals over here. Okay, so we got this board over here. And then we have the actual Deathwalker as well. And then, from there, we're going to read the Deathwalker. You create shadows, which can be placed on any hex except hexes beyond wall lines and hexes with other shadows. Shadows cannot move through wall lines, but can enter any hex without hindrance, can stop in any hex with those without no more than 5 shadows. Shadows, subsequent attacks. Okay, they use shadows. That's what's going on here. We got perk attacks. Perks, not perk attacks. Perks. Whenever you long rest, you may move 1 shadow up to 3 hexes. That's cool. I don't long rest that often, though. While you are occupying a hex with a shadow, all attacks targeting you gain disadvantage. That's cool. I like that. I like that protection. Protection's always fun. Disadvantage is great. They can miss more attacks with disadvantage. That's just called math. We have our two card review. Call to the Abyss. Place 1 shadow in a hex within 2 range. Always fun, always good. Doing yours and your summons attacks before drawing an attack modifier, you may place 1 character token on the target of the attack. You may place 1 character token on the target of the attack. When that enemy dies, place 1 shadow in an adjacent to... Okay, cool. Okay, so you're basically placing down character tokens on enemies that will then hopefully have them die, and you generate more shadows. That seems to be what's going on. Oh, this stays in play. This Call to the Abyss, this stays in play. Oh, so you can always have a single character that you're targeting as the next person you hope dies and generates a shadow. I like this. I like this concept. This is fun. This character is joining the... I'm up to 3 characters I want to pick from. The Banner Spear, the Deathwalker, the Banner Spear, and the Quattro Blink Blade are now the 3 characters I want. Okay, so far, just so we're clear. But we need another character over here. Fluid Knight, 5 damage. Perform the attack as if you are occupying a hex with a shadow, then remove the shadow. I love that. It's so cool. That's so cool. That basically means you have shadows on the board, and then you can just like pop out of the shadow, shift somebody with your blade, and then destroy the shadow, and it generates a knight token as well. Or whenever you would suffer, this stays in play, whenever you would suffer damage, you may instead teleport to a hex with a shadow, remove the shadow, negate the damage, and discard this card. Okay. Well, I can tell you that currently... I'm sorry. I don't know which character I want to play most as. We are now between 3 characters. I think the Quattro Blink Blade is insanely cool. I do worry about the possibility for being a little overwhelmed. It's a high complexity character, and every single card, I think every single card has 2 different things to be mindful of, as well as the top and bottom. So, high complexity character, potentially high reward, but definitely could be just a little bit distracting with just how much, like, whenever you have, like, 2 of something going on at any point, it's just be a little too distracting having that binary choice present with every single card. So you have to be mindful of the Quattro Blink Blade and the level to which it could be overwhelming, that's what I'm saying. That level of choice seems very appealing, and I do like it, but it could be overwhelming and a little too much at the same time. Then we have the Banner Spear, which seems very cool, but I have the concern about the ally aspect. I'll have to read through more of its cards and see whether it works or not. And then we have the Deathwalker, which I love the concept of. The question is, the thing I'm worried about the Deathwalker is I'm worried that the Deathwalker seems cooler, but in practice those cool moments wouldn't be as constantly prevalent. So we have 3 characters that I'm very compelled by. I'm going to read every single one of their cards before choosing who I start as. And of course, I'll dive into one of them this weekend as I do my setup, learning the rules and all that stuff. But I'm very, very intrigued. Here's the part where you get to watch me trying to put everything back in the box. Again, I haven't actually done anything with the actual boards yet, so this hopefully should not be that hard yet. We're going to try to put everything back in the box right now, okay? So we have our masses full of boards over here, which will just, I love the little fact they have a nice little divot where you can put your fingers. That definitely helps, that little divot there to grab everything out. Then we're going to put all these on top. Again, just to try to figure out how this all, using my memory, which is a thing that does exist vaguely. I'm trying to remember how this all went back here. I recall this being over here like this. This one on this side, like so. Okay, and then we have all this over here. I think you have to rotate this one way than the other way. That gives you more flexibility on those binder rings. And then we have our rulebook, which is not going to go back in because the rulebook is staying with me out of the box, so I can actually go ahead and blarg. And that is Frosthaven. That is Frosthaven. That is a whole lot of Frosthaven. I am intensely excited to go through this campaign. Gloomhaven has been a fantastic experience, although with the caveat that I've been playing it mostly digitally. My experience with Gloomhaven is 3 physical scenarios, a whole lot of Jaws of the Lion, which I do think Jaws of the Lion is nicely accessible. I have mad respect for that one. And then playing Gloomhaven digitally. This is going to be my first full deep dive into playing the overwhelmingness that is this in a physical form. I'm very excited. I don't know what will happen with it. I don't know which character I'll choose. I will probably play through all 3 of those characters I'm excited about. The other 3 all look great. Make no mistake. All 6 of these characters look great. But those 3 really hold a stronger appeal to me, and I don't know which direction I'm going to go. It depends on the cards. I'm leaning a bit towards the Deathwalker. That idea of just those shadows. It seems cool. We'll see. In any case, we're going to go ahead and call this a wraps. You have 17 links to keep you busy down below. Enjoy all of them. Until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. Hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, I hope you have a good one.